Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be exploring the work of Vladan Joler, a name that has become synonymous with dissecting the hidden impacts of artificial intelligence.
Oh yeah, he's a fascinating figure.
If you've ever kind of felt uneasy about AI's growing influence, I think his work is going to resonate deeply with you.
Yeah, you might not know him by name, but he's got this incredible ability to take AI, something that often feels intangible and complex, and make it incredibly real and relatable.
Yeah, he's a fascinating guy.
Yeah.
Like a technologist, an artist, and a researcher, all rolled into one.
Yeah, and it's really that combination that makes his work so unique.
Absolutely.
It's not just about building algorithms, it's about building bridges between art and science, and prompting us to really think about the ethical implications of these powerful systems, these systems that are just becoming more and more intertwined with our lives.
Yeah, and I think that's why we wanted to do a deep dive into his work, because it's so relevant today. AI is everywhere, and it's impacting everything, from the products that we buy to the decisions that are made about us.
Yeah, he's got this way of cutting through the hype, cutting through all the technical jargon, and really getting to the heart of what matters. Like, what are the ethical implications of AI? What are the potential risks? What are the unintended consequences?
Yeah, and doing it in a way that's both thought-provoking and accessible.
Exactly.
So where should we start?
Well, I think the best place to begin is with his most celebrated project, Anatomy of an AI System.
Okay, I've heard of this.
This project focuses on the Amazon Echo. It's a visual masterpiece.
I think I saw something about that online.
It's actually part of the Museum of Modern Art's permanent collection.
Wow, so this is like serious art world recognition.
Oh, absolutely.
So what is it about Anatomy of an AI System that's so captivating?
Well, imagine a massive, intricate map that traces the entire life cycle of an Amazon Echo, from the mines where the raw materials are extracted to its final resting place as e-waste.
Wow, so it's not just about taking apart an echo.
No, it's about understanding the entire system.
The whole ecosystem.
Exactly.
You know, there's one detail in that project that's always stuck with me. It highlights how creating just one echo requires extracting rare earth elements, often from mines with questionable labor practices.
Yeah, that's a really powerful point.
It makes you think about the true cost of convenience.
The hidden costs.
Yeah, the things we don't see.
Right. We're so focused on the shiny finished product that we rarely stop to think about the complex web of human labor and environmental impact that underpins it.
And that's just one echo. Multiply that by the millions of these devices out there,
Yeah.
and then add in all the other AI systems that are invisibly shaping our lives.
Yeah.
It's kind of overwhelming when you think about it.
It is. It's a vast and complex system.
So how do we even begin to make sense of it all?
Well, that leads us to one of Joler's core concerns, the black box problem.
Okay, I've heard that term before, but break it down for me.
So many AI systems operate in ways that are opaque, even to the experts who design them. We're talking about algorithms with millions of lines of code, trained on massive data sets that are constantly changing.
So it's like trying to understand a magic trick. You see the outcome, but the process itself remains a mystery.
Exactly.
So how does Joler approach this?
He can't exactly crack open these algorithms like a walnut.
Right.
He takes a different approach. He actually reverse engineers these algorithms, dives into the code, analyzes the data, and painstakingly maps out the decision-making processes that are usually hidden from view.
So he's giving us X-ray vision into the inner workings of these AI systems.
Precisely.
So instead of just telling us that AI can be biased, he's actually showing us how that bias is baked into the system.
Exactly. And his work on facial recognition technology is a powerful example of this.
Oh yeah, I've read about that.
His research has shown that these systems are often less accurate for people of color, leading to misidentification and even wrongful arrests.
That's disturbing.
It is. And he uses data visualization to expose these biases, making it clear that they're not just technical glitches, they're systemic problems with real-world consequences.
And that's what makes Joler's work so important. He's not just pointing out these abstract ethical concerns, he's grounding them in concrete examples, showing us how they're playing out in people's lives.
Exactly. He's connecting the dots between the technology and its impact on society.
And it's not just about the algorithms themselves. It's also about the data that these algorithms are trained on.
Right. Where does this data come from? Who's collecting it? And how is it being used to shape our online experiences?
And this is where Joler's work on surveillance capitalism comes into play, right? He doesn't just throw around the term. He actually breaks it down, visually demonstrating how companies like Google and Facebook are using AI to collect and monetize vast amounts of personal data.
And his visualizations are incredibly effective at conveying the scale and scope of this data collection.
It's mind-boggling.
It's not just about targeted ads anymore. It's about creating these detailed profiles of our lives, predicting our behavior, and influencing our choices in ways that we're often completely unaware of.
It's like he's holding up a mirror to the digital age, forcing us to confront this uncomfortable truth about how our data is being used.
And it can be a pretty unsettling reflection.
It is.
Especially when you start to think about the potential consequences.
Like what kinds of consequences?
Joler highlights how this data can be used to manipulate our emotions, to target us with misinformation, and even to discriminate against us in areas like housing, employment, and healthcare.
It's like we're trading our privacy for convenience.
Yeah.
Without fully understanding the terms of the deal.
Exactly.
So what is Joler's prescription?
Well, he's not saying that we should abandon technology altogether, but he is advocating for greater transparency, stronger privacy regulations, and a more critical approach to the ways in which our data is being collected and used.
So he wants us to be informed participants in this digital ecosystem, not just passive consumers.
Exactly.
And that's a really empowering message.
It is. It's about taking back control and shaping the future of technology in a way that aligns with our values.
Yeah, it feels like we're living in this constant data stream. And it's tough to know what's being collected, how it's being analyzed, and who ultimately benefits.
It's like this invisible infrastructure that's shaping our lives.
Joler's work is a real wake-up call.
Yeah.
It encourages us to become more aware of this data-driven world that we inhabit.
And it's not just about awareness, it's also about giving us the tools to actually understand these complex systems. Take his Critical Atlas of the Internet project, for example.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's incredible.
This map literally lays bare the physical infrastructure of the Internet.
It's mind-blowing. You see these undersea cables crisscrossing the ocean floor, massive data centers sprawling across landscapes. It makes you realize the Internet is far from ethereal. It has a very real physical presence in the world.
Exactly. And by mapping out this infrastructure, Joler exposes the power dynamics that underpin the digital world.
Right. So it's not just about the ones and zeros.
No, it's about the physical reality of the Internet, the cables, the servers, the data centers.
And the people who control them.
Exactly. He highlights how certain countries and corporations control key nodes in the network, giving them a disproportionate amount of power over the flow of information.
It's like the geopolitical landscape of the Internet.
Precisely.
So it's not just about the technology itself. It's about who controls the pipelines, who sets the rules, and who ultimately benefits from this global network.
Right. It's about power.
And this connects back to Joler's work on AI in a powerful way.
Absolutely. He's showing us that AI isn't some neutral force. It's embedded within these existing power structures and can be used to either reinforce or challenge them.
So it's a double-edged sword.
It is. It depends on who's wielding it.
And what their intentions are.
Exactly.
Think about the algorithms that determine what we see in our social media feeds, for example.
Right. They're not just presenting us with neutral information. They're shaping our perceptions, filtering our reality, and often reinforcing existing biases and inequalities.
It's like Joler's pulling back the curtain on the wizard, revealing the mechanisms of control that are often operating just beneath the surface.
And he doesn't shy away from naming names.
Yeah, he calls out specific companies.
He does. He directly calls out companies like Amazon, Google, and Facebook for their role in creating these systems of surveillance and data extraction.
He's not afraid to challenge those in power.
Not at all. He holds them accountable for the impact of their actions.
And that's what I find so inspiring about Joler's work. He's not just a detached observer. He's an active participant in this struggle for a more just and equitable digital future.
He's a true advocate.
He's using his art and his research to empower people, to give them the tools to understand these systems, and to challenge them.
He's a strong believer in digital literacy.
What do you mean by that?
He believes that everyone should have the knowledge and skills to critically engage with technology, to understand how it works, how it's impacting their lives, and how they can use it to create positive change.
So it's not just about being a passive consumer of technology. It's about becoming an informed citizen of the digital age.
Exactly.
Joler's really pushing us to take ownership of our digital lives and to demand better from the companies and institutions that are shaping this technological landscape.
And it's not just about technical skills either. It's about critical thinking, ethical awareness, and a deep understanding of the social and political implications of technology.
He wants us to think about technology not just as a tool, but as a force that's shaping our world in profound ways.
He's really pushing the boundaries of traditional education, creating this new space where art, technology, and social critique can all come together to create something truly unique and impactful.
And his own background is incredibly diverse.
Yeah, he's a professor, an artist, a researcher, a writer. He even has a background in music.
It's like this eclectic mix of experiences has really shaped his unique approach to exploring technology.
Absolutely. He's able to draw from these different disciplines to connect the dots in ways that others might miss.
He sees the big picture.
He sees the interconnectedness of things, the way technology is woven into the fabric of our lives, our culture, our politics, our environment.
It's like he's this master weaver, taking these disparate threads, art, science, philosophy, activism, and weaving them together into this incredibly rich tapestry.
And it's a tapestry that challenges us to see the world differently, to question the status quo, and to imagine new possibilities.
So it's not just about understanding the problems, it's about envisioning solutions.
Exactly. Joler's work is both a diagnosis and a prescription.
I like that.
He's diagnosing the ills of the digital age, but he's also offering us a path forward, a way to create a more just, equitable, and sustainable technological future.
And he's doing it in a way that's incredibly engaging and accessible.
He's not writing dry academic papers. He's creating art, building interactive experiences, using humor and storytelling to make these complex issues relatable to a wider audience.
He's a true visionary. And his work is an inspiration to anyone who's interested in using creativity to make a positive impact on the world.
And he's constantly pushing the boundaries. He's not afraid to experiment, to try new things, to blend different disciplines and approaches.
He's a true innovator.
It's like he's on this never-ending quest for knowledge, always seeking to understand the world in new and deeper ways.
And that insatiable curiosity is what makes his work so compelling.
It draws you in.
It does. He's not just giving us answers. He's prompting us to ask better questions, to delve deeper, to challenge our own assumptions, and to never stop exploring. It's really inspiring stuff. It's like he's handing us this toolkit, this powerful toolkit for navigating the digital age.
Yeah, it's not about rejecting technology. It's about using it consciously, ethically, shaping it to reflect our values.
Right, not the other way around.
Exactly.
So where do we even begin? It all feels so complex.
Well, I think the first step is understanding how these systems work, how they're designed, what their limitations are.
So we can't just blindly trust the algorithms.
No, we need to be able to critically evaluate them, to see where they might be biased, or where they might be reinforcing existing inequalities.
So it's about developing this healthy skepticism.
Exactly.
Not just taking everything at face value, but digging a little deeper, asking questions, demanding more transparency.
Right, and it's not just about being critical, it's also about being creative.
Oh, that's interesting.
Joler's work shows us that we can use art, design, storytelling to make these complex issues more accessible, to engage people's imaginations, to inspire them to take action.
I like that. So it's about reclaiming the narrative around technology, shifting it away from this purely technical perspective, injecting it with a sense of human agency.
Exactly. We're not just passengers on this technological roller coaster.
We have the power to steer.
We do.
And it's not just about individual actions.
Right. It's about collective action, coming together to demand change, to push for stronger regulations, to support organizations that are fighting for a more just and equitable digital future.
It's about building a movement.
It is.
A coalition of people who are committed to using technology for good.
A movement that believes that technology should serve humanity.
Not the other way around.
Exactly.
So if someone is listening to this and they're feeling inspired, what are some concrete steps they can take?
Well, I think the first step is simply to start paying attention. Become more aware of how AI is already present in your life.
Oh, I see.
From the algorithms that curate your social media feeds to the facial recognition software that might be scanning your face in public spaces.
Okay, yeah. I never really think about that.
Right. It's like that old saying, the fish doesn't know it's in water. We're so immersed in this technological environment, we often don't even notice its presence or its influence.
It's true.
So the first step is to simply become more aware of the water we're swimming in.
Okay, so awareness is key.
It is. And once you start to see the water, you can start to ask questions.
Like what kinds of questions?
Who built this system? What data is it using? What are its limitations? Who benefits from it? And who might be harmed?
So developing that critical lens.
Exactly like Joler does. and applying it to the technologies that are shaping your life.
Don't be afraid to challenge assumptions.
Right.
To dig deeper.
Yeah.
To demand more transparency.
And don't feel like you have to do it alone. There are so many amazing organizations out there working on these issues.
Oh, really? Like who?
Groups like the Electronic Frontier Foundation, the Algorithmic Justice League, Data and Society. Connect with these groups, learn from them, get involved in their campaigns.
So it's about finding your people.
It is finding your tribe, those people who share your concerns and your vision for a better tech future.
I like that.
And remember, even small actions can make a difference.
Like what?
Sharing an article, signing a petition, having a conversation with a friend. These seemingly small acts can ripple outwards and contribute to a larger movement for change.
So it's about raising awareness.
It is.
And taking action.
Exactly.
Even if it's just a small step.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of your own creativity.
What do you mean?
Joler shows us that we don't need to be tech experts to engage with these issues. We can use art, music, writing, whatever our creative outlet is, to express our concerns, to raise awareness, and to inspire others to join the conversation.
So it's not just about protesting against bad tech. It's about creating good tech.
Exactly.
Imagining and building the kind of future we want to live in.
A future where technology is used to empower people, to connect us, to solve problems, and to create a more just and sustainable world.
I love that vision.
It's a vision worth striving for.
It is.
And it's a future that's within our reach. We have the tools, we have the knowledge, and we have the collective power to make it happen.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the work of Vladan Joler, we want to leave you with one final thought to carry with you. Imagine if Joler were to create one of his incredible anatomy maps of an AI system that you use every day. Your smartphone, your social media platform, your favorite shopping app. What hidden impacts do you think he might reveal?
It's a powerful question.
It is.
Take that question with you. Explore it. Discuss it. Let it spark your own curiosity and your own journey into the world of AI and its impact on our lives.
We hope this deep dive has empowered you to see the digital world with fresh eyes, to ask critical questions, and to embrace your role in shaping a more just and equitable technological future.
It's a future worth fighting for.
It is. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep creating